My shoes do not allow me to perform this activity. We are required to invite the final speaker. Now, with humility and great pleasure, I now invite Mr. Shezada Wali, Mr. LAWCON, to come and invite our last speaker. Karibu sana.
Thank you very much. So, at this LAWCON, we really felt that we want to start with a bang and end with a bigger bang. And to do that, we thought, because the theme is need for specialization and economic empowerment for lawyers, we wanted somebody who I think the entire country lawyers look up to, not just myself. We look up to him. Most of us take him as our role models. He's taught many people, many, I think probably thousands of lawyers. And through him, those lawyers have taught thousands of lawyers. And I'll read out a brief bio, although this bio is really brief, but he's more than this. So, Professor Issa Shivji was born in Kilosa, Tanzania. Currently, he is Professor Emeritus in the School of Law, University of Dar es Salaam, from where he retired in 2006 after teaching law for 36 years. Professor Shivji has published over 12 books and numerous articles. His latest publication is a co-authored biography of Julius Nyerere in 3 volumes titled Development as Rebellion. He is an advocate of the High Court of Tanzania and also the High Court of Zanzibar. He is a holder of several awards, including 2 honorary doctorates. He is also a fellow of the British Academy. I would really appreciate if, I know people are very hungry. We just have 2 more items to go, but I think we would be losing out a lot if we do not hear from him. And he has graciously agreed to come today and to share his wisdom with us. So, Professor Shivji, if you don't mind, if you could share some wisdom, some experience with us in line with our theme. And I don't want to be strict like Al-Karim, but because he called me his mentor, I'll give you 10 minutes.
Thank you. Your God must have taken more time than 10 minutes to clear the world with a bang. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to be here with you. Lots of us are new. But they're likely to be people who have been taught by my students, or they're likely to be the children and grandchildren of my students. Shezda did not say, when he said I was born in Kilosa, I didn't say in which year I was born. I was born just when the Second World War ended. So it's a great pleasure, really. It's a great pleasure. And I was fascinated by the presentations that were made by the last panel. And if I had time, I would have probably made some comments, particularly on the education side and on the public interest litigation, which are very close to my heart. I want to sort of make very brief remarks. I know you have been discussing specialization. Specialization of practice does not mean compartmentalization of legal knowledge. You still have to have an overall understanding of the law, the legal system, and of course of the society in which the system operates, however specialized you may be. We've already seen, it is pointed out, that you may be specialized, but still there are many, many cross-cutting issues. In my view, one of the most important pillars, premise of legal profession is legal ethics, professional ethics. That's the image that is presented to the public of the legal profession. We present ourselves as a noble profession. What is noble about us? It is the integrity of the people, in whom clients can trust, in whom public can trust. And that is earned through ethical behavior. Ethic in the profession, but also an understanding of social ethics. So I want to say, underline that point. And just in that regard, raise one issue. Is it possible that nimepita na wakati, maybe it is no longer relevant to you, but I believe it may still be relevant. For example, as far as I know, the rule and the practice is that every advocate is required to have two accounts: advocate's account and client's account. Is that rule still operative? Right, it is operative. When you take on an engagement, the money that you are paid by the client goes into client's account. If you do not withdraw that money and transfer it to the advocate's account before the work is done, or if you do, it should be proportionate to the work done. This is my understanding of that rule. I do not know whether advocates do it. But I want to cite to you a case from my knowledge. I was quickly looking through the law reports, I did not find it there. There's another issue. Most of the disciplinary issues of advocates go to the advocates committee, and they end up there. And unfortunately, decisions of the advocates committee are never published. This is one of the things that you could take up, okay? Because that's very important in terms of the discipline and the ethics of a lawyer. From what I recall, I can't remember exactly whether it was 80s or 90s. There was one case which went to the advocates committee and later on, I think, to the court. A lawyer had taken on a case. I think he was paid fees of 12,000 shillings. He did not perform. The client withdrew the case and wanted his money back. He did not pay him. So the matter went to the advocates committee and eventually to the High Court. In the course of the case, it was found out that this advocate did not have the two accounts. Had it put those 12,000 shillings in a client's account, he should have had that money to be able to return it. He did not. He was struck off the roll, and the poor guy could never practice again. He became a taxi driver. Now, I don't know if such cases happen these days, whether people do keep these two accounts. But another interesting issue that arises in my mind when I was looking at it, of course, we have law firms. We have law firms who register their business name, and there are law firms which have not necessarily registered their business name. Either way, I was wondering whether you open the two accounts in the name of the firm. But even if you open it in the name of the firm, still the lawyers in the firm would be personally liable, as far as I know. But I also see that, and that has come as a novelty to me, I must say, that some law firms are actually registered as limited companies. Now, I'm only raising a question. You will enlighten me. as far as I know, the law firms, the law practice cannot be registered as a limited company. It raises a host of issues. For example, professional negligence. Whom do you sue? The personal lawyer on record or the company? Even if you sue the personal lawyer on record for professional negligence, is the company vicariously liable? Etc., etc. I'm just raising this in passing. The kind of issues which I think leading senior advocates in our law society should be discussing. Because these issues are very pertinent. If they have not raised any issues now, it doesn't mean that it won't be raised in future. The second area, given the limitation of time, that I would like to make some remarks on is relatively minor, and that is how our judges are addressed. Now, of course, we address our judges as my lord, my lady, his lordship, etc., etc. Now, that's a colonial relic. You know that. It comes from the feudal times of Britain. And even some Commonwealth countries, like Australia and New Zealand, have dropped it. In the US, that term is not used. In the US, all are addressed as honor, your honor. In India, there was even a public interest litigation, Masawe. A lawyer went to court saying that this is not valid in our independent country. They should be dropped. And the matter went to the Supreme Court. I don't think we have ever discussed this issue, which surprises me. Kenya has been discussing it. Kenya has been discussing it, but we have never discussed this issue. In fact, in the opposite direction, I have seen advocates, students, participants addressing judges outside the court as your lordship. As far as I know, even if you use the term lord, it is only in court, not outside court. You can't use the term outside the court. It's a judge, honorable judge. Right? The other day, I was reading a PhD dissertation, and the guy was writing about his lordship. This is a PhD dissertation. So that's one area I thought, let me bring it to you. The other one, I'm only raising questions. Please forgive me if I am treading on some toes. I also noticed some years ago, passing through the streets, lawyers' firms. The previous lawyers' firms that they were used to would be called LAWCON companies, advocates, right? Nowadays, you find the name is attorneys at law. So now, I said, but as far as I know, maybe laws have been passed, as far as I know, there is no term attorney in our law. We have advocates, but not attorneys. It's an American system. The only attorney we have in law is the one who holds power of attorney. And he need not be a lawyer, right? That's the only attorney we have in our law. We don't have attorneys in our law. Of course, it sounds good. It sounds, nice American system. But then I don't know whether it is in law. And if it is not, and if you really fancy the term, then maybe change the law so that our advocates are called attorneys instead of advocates. As I said, that one could talk a lot, but I do not want to abuse my position. After all those kind words that you said about me, so I do not want to go on and on. But as I said, I really want to congratulate you for this great initiative. But one thing we should always keep in mind is that specialization does not mean that you become the master of a minute thing and everything else you do not know. That's not the path to specialization. This specialization must be accompanied by thorough knowledge of the legal knowledge, legal system, and of course of your society as well. And that is why, Puja, I would not be in favor of you start specializing in LLB. LLB should still remain a general degree. Maybe after LLB with masters and so on, you can take the path of specialization. Mwenyekiti, nawashukuru sana, asanteni sana, Brother Fulman.
Naomba makofi mengine tena kwa Professor Issa Shivji. Professor anatuthibitishia kwamba hajapitwa na wakati na kwamba siku zote ukipata kusikiliza maneno yake ni darasa tosha. We are very grateful, Professor, for your enlightened speech. Now we are coming to the very interesting part. We are introducing a very new product to our industry, and I want to believe it will motivate and appreciate the amount of effort that lawyers have been enduring in their practice. Now, to introduce this product, I do not want to preempt the organizers. I now call upon the representative from Victor's Hub Limited, or Viking, Miss Edith Mtweve. Karibu sana.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I'm here on behalf of Victor's Hub for the launch of something very interesting, the first ever Tanzania Legal Awards. So I'll start by a brief introduction. So as you can see, Victor's Hub has, in partnership with Italian attorneys, organized this award initiative. So as lawyers practicing in different sectors in the country, we have grown accustomed to legal accolades being offered by several international legal ranking and awarding organizations. I'm sure most of us have heard the likes of Chambers Global, accolades by Chambers and Partners, Legal 500, and IFLR 1000, amongst others. Some of us as lawyers and law firms have been participating in the ranking rounds in these various ranking directories. Some of us have not. The legal ranking and accolade system has a great significance in the legal business. I'm sure, can you display? In the legal business. So briefly, the following could be regarded as the advantages of the accolades and ranking system. The first being, yes, so briefly, the following could be regarded as the advantages of the accolades and ranking systems. The first is visibility and indirect marketing. Yesterday, we had people presenting here about marketing as lawyers and how it is not, allowed or legally warranted to, advertise your services, but there are ways to circumnavigate around that. So with the ranking and accolade systems or directories, there's an indirect way where law firms and lawyers can market their products or their services. So because we're not allowed to undertake direct marketing of our services on what we offer and the way we offer the services, participating in the ranking rounds has the potential of highlighting a lawyer or law firm's potential in the market. The second significance, branding and credibility. So participating in the ranking rounds and accolade systems has the potential of branding a lawyer or law firm and their competences. Thirdly, the system assists lawyers and law firms to promote their niche in areas of specialization on the accolades and rankings for which the lawyers participate in the ranking rounds. We have had several people talking about specialization and people finding their niches and law firms specializing in a certain area of practice. So with regards to the ranking and accolade system, you can, be ranked, for example, as the best lawyer in sports law, the best law firm in mergers and acquisitions in Tanzania. So that equally promotes the specialization as well. I will further talk about the genesis of the Tanzania Legal Awards. So the Tanzania Legal Awards is born out of an independent collaborative initiative between Victor's Hub Limited, which is a non-profit generating company, a company limited by guarantee, whose liability is limited by guarantees, and Stallion Attorneys Limited. Out of there being a need to have a domestic ranking and accolade system cultured to suit the Tanzanian legal practice. As I had initially spoken that there are several international ranking and accolade systems and directories. So Victor's Hub and Stallion Attorneys came together to have a specific directory or ranking system that is tailor-made for the Tanzanian legal practice. The joint effort is based on the ideals of promoting law as a business in Tanzania and the vast areas of legal practice. Drawing inspiration from several other up-and-running systems, the effort aims to establish a sophisticated ranking system with several accolades categories, which shall be enforced by an independent ranking committee, which shall be responsible for the ranking and accolading. So this initiative shall therefore establish an independent committee. The independent committee shall be dealing specifically with the ranking categories and the nominations and the applications. So for example, if you are a lawyer and you would like to be recognized in your practice, in a certain area of practice, you can make an application, or if you would want to nominate a certain law firm, you can also do that. So for this, there will be an independent committee that will be established. Independent, meaning it will not be attached to either Victor's Hub Limited nor Stallion Attorneys, but rather it will just be made up of competent people who will be undertaking this. I'll also briefly highlight about Victor's Hub because this is a new company that is up and running, but it is not so new in terms of activities that it has already done, and some of which have already been mentioned by some of the speakers like Pooja. So Viking is a non-profit generating company, as I said, a company whose liability is limited by guarantees, which aims at coordinating programs for promotion of progression of the legal industry in Tanzania. These, amongst others, include the implementation of programs for nurturing and fostering young lawyers' experience and comprehension of the law business. Some of the company's activities are rooted in inspiring and coordinating programs for progression of the legal industry through nurturing young lawyers to gain legal experience and comprehension of the legal practice. Instigating and synchronizing professional networking links between local and international legal practitioners for the growth of the legal profession in Tanzania. And thirdly, providing career-worthy mentorship on professional development amongst young lawyers through imparting practical skills on legal business, entrepreneurship, and legal law firm management. Some of the notable activities which have already been implemented by this company include the Victory Attorneys National Moot Court Competition, which was in 2021. This was based on permanent sovereignty over natural resources and the likes of it in the mining sector. And this year, for 2022, we have a competition that will be taking place in October that will be based on data protection and privacy laws. Thank you, Pooja, for giving us a shout out with regards to the moot court competition. The second is the Viking Mentorship and Entrepreneurship program, we have this, and one of the beneficiaries is Ms. Catherine over there. So she was also part of the moot court competition yesterday, as well as so many other students that were part of the moot court competition that have been able to get mentorships and internship programs. Mr. Sunday has also taken in some of the one of the participants, and some other law firms and companies have also taken in some of the participants from the moot court competition. Another product, or another activity rather, is the Viking Academic Scholarship Program, which mostly it's for law school academic fees and just general support. I'm one of the beneficiaries of the Viking Academic Scholarship Program. Mr. Rayson Elijah over there is one of the beneficiaries of this program as well. So back to the rankings and the accolades. So the Tanzania Legal Awards Independent Committee shall be established for the purpose of issuing the ranking and accolades categories and rules of participation. Some of the categories which shall be in the initial accolades ranking shall include the following, amongst others, such as the Tanzania Law Firm of the Year, Large Practice, Tanzania Law Firm of the Year, Small Practice, taking into consideration that there are different scales of practice in Tanzania. So we want to accommodate all scales of practice. We have the Litigation and Alternative Dispute Resolution Law Firm of the Year. We have the M&A Law Firm of the Year, Employment Law Firm of the Year, Intellectual Property Law Firm of the Year, Partner of the Year, Rising Star of the Year, Most Promising New Law Firm of the Year, Property and Construction Law Firm of the Year, Corporate Transactional Law Firm of the Year, Tax Law Firm of the Year, Digitalization and Innovation Firm of the Year as well. These are just amongst the categories. They could be, it's just to show the picture of what could be coming. So the categories and rules for the rankings and accolades shall be published by the Tanzania Legal Awards Independent Committee on a yearly basis for each year's accolades. The awardees shall be featured in the Tanzania Legal Awards yearly journal. They should also be featured in the Tanzania Legal Awards website as well. So this will bring visibility and marketing as well. Now, the lawyers will not have to market themselves, rather this independent committee, because it will have its journal that will be published on a yearly basis, and it will be available internationally. So, you know, the lawyers could be marketed in their services as well, and the law firms as well. So in this last segment of this presentation, I would like to welcome Mr. Benedict Ishabakaki and Shazada.
Okay, so, you know, sometimes people find this really interesting, and some people think we're crazy for starting the Tanzania Legal Awards, okay? This discussion started, I think, from when Sunday and I were boarding a flight together from Zanzibar to Dar, and we were like, Tanzania, what's happening with Tanzania? How comes there are no legal awards in Tanzania? And so having that discussion led to me then having a discussion with Ben, where I was talking to about the LAWCON. But honestly speaking, I just want Ben to probably tell you guys, why are we crazy people doing this?
Thank you. I'm one of director of Victor's Hub, but also my partner to Victoria Attorneys and Consultants. As Shazada said, of course, through the years of my practice, I've been attending the International Bar Association conference, and of course, we also got an inspiration from other, other countries like Kenya. But the main reason why we decided to come up with this idea is the fact that there's a saying which say in a legal profession, money is not only the thing. The other thing which, of course, people do care is appreciation and motivation. So one among the idea coming up with the idea is first of all to recognize people who has been very tremendous in this profession, but also to give them motivation in terms of appreciating what they are doing. But also, lastly, we thought that because we are talking about specialization, we thought it's good that maybe giving this award will also encourage a certain associate or a partner to keep going in that area of specialization. So those are three things, of course, which we discussed with the team, and then we decided to come up with a Tanzania Legal Award. We do understand that Tanganyika Law Society, they have a role in it, and this is, of course, is our duty. We already approached them, and as Edith said, they are going to be independent committee, and our thinking is that TLS will also be part of the idea if, of course, they will agree on it. Yeah.
Great. So that makes a very great point. And yes, the reason why we are doing this, and especially today, we are going to recognize a few people that we find, deserve recognition. And through the LAWCON today, as we launch the Tanzania Legal Awards, we would really, really love to recognize these people. On a daily basis, they have inspired us, they have inspired other lawyers, and we felt as Victor and Stallion to take this opportunity and recognize them. So we'll give it to Edith to read out their names.
Yes, so before taking off with the rankings and accolade system that will be carried out by an independent committee, as I had elaborated earlier, we would like to take off the rankings by recognizing the contribution and achievements of some of the lawyers in the following order. The first one, with the recognition for contribution to the legal profession. And this recognition goes to a person who has been constantly updating the legal profession or the legal community on various changes of the law, various case law and stuff like that, taking his time to actually do this without having been paid. So this recognition for contribution to the legal profession by this young lawyer goes to Mr. Nafikile Mwambona. Some of you might know him as Mendes. So, Mr. Nafikile Mwambona. Mendes, would you please? So the second recognition is for recognition towards an upcoming specialized law firm. So in an effort to encourage specialization for lawyers and law firms in certain areas of practice, emerging new areas of practice, interesting areas of practice, we would like to recognize this law firm for having taken an initiative to actually specialize in this emerging area of practice. And this recognition to an upcoming specialized law firm goes to Queen Law Chambers. Please, a round of applause. So they have taken to specialize in sports law, and we had one of them present as one of the panelists today. So now the third recognition goes to a very prominent and eminent lawyer, very senior lawyer, very respected lawyer in the legal fraternity for his constant, long-term contribution to the public law and constitutional law jurisprudential sector. And this recognition goes to Professor Issa Shivji. Please. And so the last category of recognition for today is for the recognition of human rights law contribution. This person has been very vibrant and very instrumental in actually contributing to the area of human rights law in Tanzania. And this recognition goes to Mr. Fulgens Masawe. A round of applause. Thank you, everyone. So as I had spoken earlier, that this is just, today we did recognize some of our own people, some of the people who have had significant contribution in the fraternity, in the practice, before taking off with the awards and accolades system. So with the establishment of the Tanzania Legal Awards Independent Committee, which will be independent from Victor's Hub, Vicon, and independent from stallion attorneys, this special committee now will be responsible for the ranking and accolading system, and it will have in place rules and categories which all of us others as law firms and lawyers will be able to partake and now have the proper awards, the first ever awards in Tanzania, the Tanzania Legal Awards, crafted for Tanzania. Thank you, everybody.
Well, thank you so much, the organizers, for introducing this product in our industry. And it will motivate us to deliver more, yeah? Now, to appreciate what one of our colleague has just received today, a recognition award, the interim CEO of Dar es Salaam Young Africans, the champions of all time in Tanzania, would also like to recognize and appreciate Mr. Mendes by giving him something. Please, Mr. Simon, karibu sana.
Thank you. I won't take much of your time. I have to personally confess, Mr. Mendes, I never knew him. I'm really excited to see him today. And he once saved my life in a mysterious way. I never knew this is the guy. So I was going in court, I was looking for some precedents, which I'm not going to mention, but just going through WhatsApp group, and then I was able to see this case posted by Mendes. Then I read it saved my life. So I was like, one day I'll find this guy. Now, today I finally met this guy as a lawyer, and on behalf of Young African Sports Club, I'm going to award you 500,000 Tanzanian shilling. You know, it's not much, it's not a lot, but I want you to contribute to your bundle that you spend just to update our fellow lawyers. Thank you so much, and I appreciate we'll meet after this event. Thank you.
Thank you so much, boss. Well, I am calling him boss kwa sababu yeye huyu ndo mwenyekiti wa kamati ya wanachama ya Young Africans. Na mimi katika tawi letu ndo mwenyekiti wa hiyo kamati. Kwa hiyo nina report kwake. Having said that, I understand Exim bado wanataka kumwaga mapesa. So I call upon representative. No, before I call upon the representative, I think it is prudent I call Mr. LAWCON to invite Exim kuja kumwaga mapesa. Karibu sana.
In the next LAWCON, we're not going to talk about Simba and Yanga. Simon, you're a Chelsea fan like myself, so let's stick to Chelsea, okay? No Simba Yanga. I'm a Simba fan, by the way. And congratulations for being champions, but not this year. If I can please request Mr. Peritos Pablo to please come quickly on the stage. We have a few tokens of appreciation for Mr. Mendes, again, and Queen's Law Chambers that Exim wants to also present to and appreciate. Can you bring that pen? Okay, so Mr. Babla is going to just share what it is and present the token to Mr. Mendes and Queen's Law Chambers.
Thank you. I call my EXIM team to please come forward. So it will be nice. We will call the winners one by one. If you can keep it like that, please. Thank you. When the Stallion attorneys approached us on this beautiful initiative, and about the awards, and since our topic was on the digital payments in the legal practice, so we decided to award this upcoming awards. I was told Mr. Menzies, yeah? Sorry, what was his award on?
So he basically updates all the lawyers on almost, I can say even by hourly basis, I would say. I don't know whether it's hourly. Today, I am sure all the lawyers are missing out on his messages. But he's basically constantly updating us on the upcoming laws, the upcoming cases, all the rulings and court orders that come out, and it's instantly published on all his social media platforms and WhatsApp messages, and yeah.
So, Exim Bank awards a prepaid card worth 50,000 shillings, and you will be our Balozi in the digital payments journey. Thank you. I'm told, and that's really beautiful, the women power. That's one of the wonderful, what we can say, the experience and an upcoming law firm. And with this, we would like to award a prepaid card worth 50,000 shillings. A round of applause, please.
Thank you, Exim Bank.
Thank you so much. As we approach to the end of our session, I think it is best we get a video so that we can have an overview of what we've been having since yesterday. Yeah.
Reason why I think people should attend to this conference, I think first of all, it's a good networking platform especially for senior and young lawyers, and I would recommend most of young lawyers to attend in this conference because that's where, of course, you're going to meet your peer, your senior, other advocates. And the other reason, of course, which I think is most important for both lawyers to attend, this is a good kind of referral area where, of course, if you do tax law or you do corporate law or banking law, you're going to meet other colleagues who are doing other separate area of interest. So it's good to merge. And as you can see, the market in Tanzania right now, when it comes to legal practice, is so versatile. So it's a good opportunity for people to meet, connect, and to give reference to each other.
I'm so excited, and I am looking forward to attend this year's LAWCON conference. This LAWCON conference offers a unique experience for African lawyers to follow up closely about the legal developments that are happening in the region.
Hi, looking forward to this year's LAWCON 2022, whereby all the industry leaders in the legal sector and the change makers that are actually pioneering different trends and different law practice will be there exchanging notes to actually better the legal practice in Tanzania. And the young, the old, the people that are actually contributing and making change in different areas of practice really looking forward to learn, exchange notes, and also contribute to the change that we're supposed to be making. Be sure to come, LAWCON 2022.
Ijumaa hii tarehe 26 na Jumamosi ya tarehe 27 kutakuwa na mkusanyiko wa wanasheria wengi sana kwenye LAWCON ya 2022. Na mwaka huu kauli mbiu yake ni umuhimu wa taaluma, lakini pia kuwezeshana kiuchumi kwa sisi wanasheria. Hii si ya kukosa. Tafadhali sana jiandikishe, lakini pia usikose kushiriki. Na unapokuja hakikisha unatembea na kadi zako za mawasiliano.
Hello, LAWCON 2022 sets a very important agenda for lawyers in Tanzania. It creates a unique platform for everyone to attain skills necessary so that they can be employed to allow every lawyer in the country to invest and have economic sustenance. So I urge every lawyer in the country to attend in this very coming LAWCON. Thank you.
LAWCON time, that time of the year, I think this event is shaping up to becoming one of the premier events in terms of the legal profession, in terms of discussing the topical issues that are affecting our profession. So I argue every lawyer, especially the young lawyers, and every other business that is there that has something to do with law, because we believe we are basically the connection between whatever that you do. And
I'd like to welcome you to this year's LAWCON, organized by Stallion Attorneys. Lawyers are encouraged to attend. I think it's a good platform for you as lawyers because, one, we're going to discuss about law firms as businesses and how that operates vis-a-vis ethics and professionalism for lawyers. And we look at how the business evolved over time and how now with technology and being that everything is modern, how that can impact lawyers in a law firm and lawyers as individuals. So please come, attend. And we believe that once you go away, you'll go with something that is more valuable than you ever imagined. Welcome.
Attorneys gave me a solution. They told me legal practice these days is not about sitting in the library, but it is about 1, networking, 2, exchange of ideas, 3, communication skills, 4, exchange of knowledge, and 5th, and the most important, is investing in the future. They told me to learn more about this, I'd have to attend the LAWCON. And it's just around the corner. I'll be there.
The reason why I'm very excited and looking forward towards it is the topic itself, the need for specialization and economic empowerment for lawyers, and the list of speakers. It cuts across a very specialized list of speakers from different angles all over East Africa. It's a gold mine of knowledge from the speakers and also the attendees, the CEOs, the business owners, very prominent and senior advocates will be attending the conference. So I'm very excited and very much looking forward to attend, and I will be there.
Well, thank you so much. And yes, you may wish to give yourself another round of applause, please. Apologies, the last speaker was supposed to be named as Advocate Barnabas Nyalusi and not Noel Sheo. Having said that, this was just to remind us why are we here, what exactly were we looking for, and I believe everyone has found this LAWCON 2022 very interesting. Is it not? Thank you. Now, I call upon the partner of Stallion Attorneys, Madam Hanifa Rashid, to share the vote of thanks. Karibu sana.
Asante Soba. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Habari zenu mabibi na mabwana. Asanteni sana. Thank you for being here. I know everybody is hungry, but this has been a very interesting event that I'm sure none of you is rushing into going for lunch. Everyone wants to proceed because I see some faces still smiling and wanting to ask questions. But we just have to end it at a certain point. And now we are all together here, brought by stallion attorneys who have hosted this event, LAWCON, for 2022. And we couldn't make it as successful as it was without our sponsors. I will just mention all of them because I know everybody is pointing a finger at me and telling me, please make it as short as possible. And my speech is 2 pages, but I'll try my best. Okay, a special thanks to our sponsors, Alliot Global Limited, IVO Solutions, Microsoft, Celcom Tanzania, ITL Tanzania Limited, 78 INC, Exim Bank Tanzania Limited, ITM Tanzania Limited, Grand Throne, Ashnaz Restaurant, Ecotel Tanzania, Skylink Tanzania Limited, Gateway Group, Travel Pon, and Airway Enterprises Limited. Thank you very much to the sponsors, and we would like to have a clap for them. Without them, obviously, we wouldn't have made it. And obviously, a special thank to our guest of honor, Professor Issa Shivji. Thank you very much for being here. I know probably you don't recognize my face, but I was one of the very, very, very good readers of your books, especially on human rights. I used to adore those books, and I was planning to be a human rights activist just by reading your books. After that, I don't know how I found myself becoming, Al-Karim will help in that. I don't know how I found myself becoming into this corporate world. I'm not sure how, but it somehow shaped me and made me fit into this position, while I started by becoming a human rights activist. Thank you, Professor. Obviously, we won't forget our moderators. Thank you very, very much. You have done a very, very great job, Fazilat. Fazilat, a special thanks to you. Sharon, thank you very much. Our MCs, Soba, thank you very much. With the other MC, his name is Patience. Thank you very, very much for a great job. And I will also not forget a very, very, very big thanks and a round up for Victoria Hub. I think our partners, and they are the organizers for the award, coming award. So thank you very much to them, and we would want to give them a very big clap to Victoria. So I will not take much of your time. I will thank everyone, obviously, for being here, for giving us your time, and for sharing your ideas, your opinions, your questions. Every one of you here is important, because without you, we wouldn't have been successful, and we wouldn't have made it. So thanks to everyone who's here. And we can go and enjoy our lunch. Thank you very much.
So Hanifa was not very happy with the fact that she had to come and do the vote of thanks, because she doesn't like to appear in front of everyone. But I forced her to do this. But I really, really want to thank all of you, and I want to say, please give yourselves a very big round of applause, please. Showing up at these conferences shows that you have a growth mindset, so you should be very proud of yourselves. To our amazing speakers, all those who made it and made this wonderful conference, thank you so much. I know some are not here, some are at home, so can you please give them a very big round of applause so that they can hear it? Alongside our event coordinators, Fazilat, and the assistance she got from Sharon, I think we also have our admin team from Stellan Attorneys who've done a lot of behind-the-scenes work. So we have Miss Gloria there, we have Hamza, we have Khadija. I think they've done an amazing job, so if they can get a big round of applause, please. Last but not least, we're going to award you all with something. Everyone's going to go home with something, and that's lunch.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Shizada Wali. Now, I have one or two announcements. Number one, award winners, I would like you to proceed at the sponsorship banners for group photo together with the organizers of the TLA. And lunch is ready. It will be served at the same place, first floor. On your way out, please see Miss Sharon. Sharon, please wave to get your coupon so that you can have your lunch. Asanteni sana, karibuni tena mwakani.